We grew up on mixtapes and neon.
Hey there, everybody. We are the Globe-Trotting Trio. I'm Amy.
I'm Shelley.
I'm Tammy.
It is so good to be here with you guys today. So I'm going to hand over all the reins over to Miss Shelley because this week and the next 2 weeks, we want to we want to talk to you better, talk to you about the causes that really mean something to us. You'll understand a little bit more, but let's go ahead. I'll let you take it away, Shelley. Go for it.
Oh, thanks. I feel like I'm really special today. It was like I'm just going to give all the reins over. I don't think she has any idea what that means might happen, right?
Well, I don't think she does.
Amy, thank you so much. We got started with CASA, and it stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate. My husband and I have been with them for over 6 years now, and we absolutely love it. So when we came up with this idea of talking about like what is important to each of us, we were thinking, as Gen Xers, so many of us really get involved with a cause, right? There's something that is really special to our hearts other than like our grandbabies, right, Amy?
Yes, yeah.
There is something else that's just as important. And so I'm so excited to get to share this today. But before I really give a lot of specifics, I know Tammy has experience with CASA, and I'm going to have her share that with us today. But Amy, I would love to know, had you ever heard of them before, like conversations with Alan and I or with Tammy?
Yes, actually, I think it's just my education background. That yes, you hear about all of those different programs that help all sorts of children about through every situation. So they were definitely one that was high on the list of something that actually I worked with them a little bit with some students that I had back whenever I worked at Harding. So yeah.
Okay.
Like
for IEPs and things, was it something along those lines?
Yeah, special education. Yep, for sure.
Okay. Well, for those of you that are wondering, CASA is a court-appointed advocate program, just like I said, where individuals actually get to volunteer their time, and you have to go through background checks and interviews. I mean, it's just crazy because you're working with children. And then once you're accepted into the program, you have to go through an extensive training. For us, it's like 48 hours or something here. And then we have 12 hours of continuing education we have to take every single year. But once we go through that training and we're accepted into the program, you go before a judge and he actually swears you in. He or she swears the volunteers in as court officers. And we are in charge of overseeing the care of children in foster care. And when I first heard about this, I thought, well, isn't that what caseworkers do? Like, I had no clue. I've always had like this little piece of my heart that just goes out to foster kids. My mom was a foster kid. She was raised in a children's home. And I just was amazed at the people that helped my mother become anything, right? Like my mom had 10 strikes against her, and yet she led a very productive, healthy, very balanced life. And it was because of her foster dad, who I knew as grandpa. Like he was my grandpa growing up. And so I've always had this just love for foster kids and never was in a position where I could take foster kids on. So when I learned about this program, I was like, okay, we are all in. But we don't do the same thing that DCFS does. We spend time with the kids, we talk to them, we get to know them. We go to doctor's appointments if we need to. We go to IEP meetings and work with teachers like Amy. We advocate strictly for what the kids need, deserve, and what is in their best interest. And that's not always easy. Sometimes you go against the caseworkers. Your opinion goes against the courts, but you get to really pour into those kids. And I know Amy or Tammy, you said you've had a CASA before that did those things for foster kids that were in your home. And I would love to hear a little bit about that.
So this woman, I mean, first of all, I believe that every CASA has to be, has a big heart, because to advocate for your child, is huge for sure. And we had two foster boys in our home almost 2 years. And it felt like they were here all the time, but it really wasn't. I mean, but we had social workers come, CASAs come, the attorneys come. I mean, every little piece of it had it. And, the CASA she interviewed us, she interviewed their biological parents. I mean, they did it all. And, ultimately, they were almost like friends to the kids. I remember this one lady, she was so sweet, so sweet. And the kids just loved her. The boys just loved her. And just, it's like a great big hug. It's like, and it's like grandma coming. That's what it felt like to them. It felt like grandma was coming. And for foster children, they need some kind of consistency like that too. And she'd come every month and talk to the boys, spend time with the boys, and sometimes even bring gifts, not very big gifts, but sometimes that too, just to make sure that they felt special. For sure. And that's what this CASA did with my boys. It's made them feel very, very special. Yeah.
Can I
That's
ask a
awesome.
question? Just a question. So when a CASA volunteer is assigned to a student or a child, are they with them forever until they go out of foster?
I love that question. Okay, so as long as they are in care, the CASA will be assigned to that child. So when children come into care, there's different criteria, and it really depends on, I guess, the department that you're working with, the child welfare department that you're working with. For us here in Illinois, it's DCFS.
Mhm.
And if they feel that the case is complex, or the judge feels it's complex enough to need a CASA, then that's when they call us in, and we get assigned to a case. And we stay with that child until they are either returned to their parents or until an adoption is complete. So we get to be with them that entire time. And, just like Tammy said, it's kind of like, grandma coming in, because they know that we're there strictly for them. The DCFS caseworker has checklists, and they have to come through and do all this stuff. And we just get to sit and be with them. And I think that's the difference of it, so that they can build those connections.
So not every foster child gets a CASA volunteer.
No, it's up to the courts and the governing body.
Okay.
Mhm.
For some reason, I thought every foster did, so that's good to
Oh,
know.
it would be nice, but
Awesome.
we don't have enough
Mhm.
CASAs throughout the
Mhm.
US. Like, we desperately need more people to volunteer.
Mhm.
That would be huge for foster kids if they could have a CASA. Absolutely.
I agree. I agree.
Amy, in your interaction at the schools, I'm curious, like, what kind of a difference or what kind of results did you see from the children that had a CASA? Like, can you speak to
So I will
how
tell
they
you that
helped?
the school that I was in was an application school, meaning you had to apply to attend.
Mm,
So I don't know that I would have seen a big, huge difference because it
yeah,
was kids that really wanted to be there anyway,
gotcha.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So I don't know that there was I'm glad I didn't see it in any other aspect because
okay,
I think that just helped us all to see. I mean, the student was no different than any other student. It
mhm,
was just another advocate for them. We kind of just looked at it as that was pretty much what it was, just the
yeah,
advocate.
yeah. But looking at some of your having worked in special education for as long as you have, um, and with a broad spectrum of students, can you imagine, like, some of your students, if they had had somebody to
Oh
advocate for
no,
them?
that's why I said something because had
Yeah.
night and day, it would have been night and day different because of course I worked before and after at schools that were not application schools. So um,
Mm,
they were, just the general
yeah.
and yes, night and day difference.
Mhm. And that's really why we love this program, because we do get to make such an impact on these kids' lives. And we get to help them navigate those systems. And, many times these kids come from homes where the parents probably needed an IEP or had one, but nobody advocated for them, and they don't know how to advocate for the kids.
Mhm.
Right.
And other times they're in homes with foster parents that have they're like, what's an IEP? What's a 504? Like, I don't even
Mhm.
know. I don't know
Mhm.
how to advocate that. And we can help support those foster parents that way. It's incredibly impactful
Agree.
on these little peoples.
Yes,
But I
it
just
is.
wanted to share a little bit of history about CASA for those that are kind of wondering more about it. We actually started in the state of Washington because a judge, a family court judge out there, really felt like foster children were falling through the cracks, and nobody was there to fill in kind of some of these areas. So he founded CASA in 1977. And it took 6 years for us to go national. It was 1983 before the National CASA Foundation was established.
Wow.
He really fought, really had to fight to get this built and developed. And since then, it is now spread throughout all of the US. Typically, it is a non-for-profit, so they do have to have volunteers, which is, why we're so important to keep it running. We here locally are really fortunate because our county office, our county government has absorbed our CASA office. So they don't struggle nearly as much as some of the other offices because we are government supported, but it is very rare. There's only a handful of offices in the country that are that way. It's typically, complete volunteer, and they have to fundraise and do all of that stuff.
Mhm.
So it's difficult. It's really difficult. I had a question for you, Tammy, and it just
It's
went
gone.
right out. It's here 1 minute and gone
Yeah.
the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that the CASA did for our boys is that they also could make recommendations to the judge. And I'm sure that you actually do that too. And, the CASA, of course, it didn't work out for us, but the CASA was telling, and they should have listened to the CASA, but they said that the boys needed to stay with us. They needed to stay with us, some more stability when things were going, crazy. Unfortunately, our foster boys, they went to a second cousin that the boys didn't even know. And that's what the CASA was trying to say is, that's not necessarily a good thing. These children don't even know this person, even though it's blood relative. It's not very, so I love the CASA that they truly do look after the children. She put everything aside, our personalities, the bio mom. Well, bio mom was not even in there in the picture at that point, and then everything. And, it turned out the way that it was, but
Yep.
yeah, I love it.
Amy, were you going to ask a question? You look like you were going to say something. Were you asking?
No, I was
I need
trying not to
glasses.
cough trying not to cough whenever you guys could hear me.
You
Yeah.
might need glasses too. Well, I know I personally would love to see so many more people get involved with CASA. And it's really cool, Tammy, with you having that firsthand experience and having, foster children in your home and being able to experience that. And Amy, just your experience of them in a school. And if any of our listeners have just this desire, this heart for kids, and really just want to help, I would love to talk with you, more about it. I will make sure that the link is posted, in our caption of this episode. And just please, reach out. We spend a total of maybe 5 hours a month on CASA, and we visit the kids once a month. We go to the school if needed, attend doctor's appointments if needed. We go to court. We write those reports. But this business is one of the things that allows me to be able to do that and to fuel that passion for these kids. So I would love to talk with anybody that wants more information about this. So,
And
Answered the one. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, she just wrapped all of that together because each one of us, we have our own individual things that we like to do and volunteer for. And gosh, I'm going to get sorry. I just got like really emotional at that point. That it is actually amazing that this business can provide that for us, that we can do those wonderful projects and watch out for the children. And that's what you're doing, Shelley. Go ahead, Amy. Sorry.
Nope, you guys wrapped it up perfectly. Is there anything else that you want to say before we go on about?
Nope. I think
Nope.
that pretty well sums it up. Tammy's got me with tears in my own eyes.
All right. So if anybody out there in the listening world has it in your heart, maybe go look into CASA, because it does take a little bit to get started, but once you get started, you get to make an impact for future generations to come. Just say that. So
Yeah.
if you have enjoyed our episode today or want to learn more, be sure to hit the follow button. We want to make sure that you never miss an adventure. And as always, thank you for joining us on this wild, beautiful journey. Until next time, keep exploring, everyone.
Unbroken
Bye-bye.
Guys.
Bye, everybody.